All right, on today's 30-minute mechanic, we're gonna take this little piece of steel right here. We're gonna make us a bracket to reinforce the top of our turbo to keep it steady. You may notice, looking around, that I've finished up a few things off camera. Kind of did that because nobody wants to sit there and watch me tighten 9 or 10 T-bolt clamps. So I went ahead and put the intake track all together. It fit just like I expected it to. Got all the clamps tightened up. Ran my vacuum boost lines to my blow-off valve and my map sensor and my wastegate. So all that stuff's plumbed in. Pretty much everything is done under the hood except for the O2 wideband and the belt and this little guy. So we're going to make this little guy and get that little part out of the way. So buckle up, let's go. Okay, you probably remember me talking about coming off the top one of these bolts on the backside of the turbo here, coming over to this alternator bolt just to reinforce our turbo because it's a pretty heavy turbo. I mean, these little guys, I think they weigh about 60, what do they say, 63 pounds or something. So it's no lightweight, and I'd like to brace it over to that upper alternator bolt. So we got this piece of steel here. I have no idea where it came from. It was just here in the shop. So I think I may come off of this bolt, just kind of keep it short, angle over, and come into that spot right over there. So let's get to it. Okay, get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a hole in this one at about there. You probably can't. There we go. See where that's at. I'm going to go back to drill press, pop a quick hole in that, and then I'm going to take that bolt out right there. Okay, we're back. Got a hole. Drilled a hole, kind of rounded off the end with the bench grinder back there. I'm going to take this guy out. Oof. I may have to find a longer one because these dudes, I think, are kind of short. Yeah, look at that. That little guy. And I didn't drill my hole big enough. Just trying not to go too big with my hole. But, oh well. We'll make it bigger in a minute. But yeah, it's still hot. But for now, what to do? I think I'm going to go put a little bend in this sucker, in the vise. We'll put a little bend right there so we can start angling it over towards that bolt. May have to do something about when we get here. We may have to put us a little clearance notch or something in here. We'll cross that when we get there. So let's go put a little bend in that, maybe make that hole bigger. Okay, totally just guessed on how much to bend that, but I actually did find a bolt. Just walked by one of my bolt buckets and found a bolt that is probably almost perfect. And I drilled the hole out just a little bit larger. I totally guessed on what angle to bang that over to, and I may have gone a little too much. May have to unbend that just a little, but that's okay. Now, Here's probably what it should do is go ahead and buzz this thing off because we're going to run into interference with the with the hose with a piece this long. So let me chop that. I saw it set up back there, so that won't take but just a second. I won't even stop the camera. Walk back, hit the button. Man, I like that saw. All right, we're back. Buzz that dude off. I guess I could have put a turnbuckle kind of deal in there, but I don't really want to put pressure on it. I just want something to keep it from vibrating itself to death. Yeah, I'm gonna have to straighten out my bend. Where's my Sharpie? My black Sharpie died, so we're having to use silver. Silver's not my favorite on this color of metal, but whatever. Yeah, really, that bolt was pretty long, I think. What I should do is get the wrench, bust that dude out of there, and we'll just see. Where is my... It was in the drawer. The wrench was in the drawer. Because that's... If you put things away, you'll always know where to find them. See, I think I might have plenty of room to just use this bolt. It's pretty long. And if it's not long enough, I'm probably find another one. I can probably find another bolt longer where I don't have to hit this. I can just kind of stay out and put a spacer behind it. That may be what we need to do. Let's go unbend that a little bit. And I can probably mark about where my hole needs to be right now. Just by using my eyeballs. What about there? Did that even do anything? Yeah. Okay. Let's go drill another hole and straighten this piece out just a little bit. Maybe make a bend back that on that end just a hair. Bolt out. Look at that. That one took some threads out with it. I thought that with the shorter bolt, remember we tightened it and it tightened to loose, I think. Let's go drill and bend. Once again, here's our piece. So we got a little slight bend on one end, slight bend on the other. The bolts are the same size, so I just drilled another hole the same size. Might have made it just a teensy weensy bit too long. Looks like I did. The angle's good, but my hole needs to go, gosh, about 1/16 of an inch back towards the turbo. I guess I need to make both of my holes just a little bit bigger. Give me a little bit of wiggle. That's what happens when you just build things by ear. Actually, it's going to need a little twist to it too, because the turbo and the alternator are not in the same plane this way. So we have to stick it back there and put a little twist to it. But that's okay. We can do that. Let's go make these holes just a tiny bit bigger. Okay, that was pretty quick. Made them just a little bigger. They were, I mean, just exactly the size of the bolt. So the bolt just fit right through, but we need them to be a little sloppy. See, now that one will, now everything will bolt together. Cool. It's actually not bad. Not a bad deal. May want to, I don't know. I'm going to need to cut the other end off right over here. I think that's going to fit. How long is that bolt? It can be really long if we need it to be. Make me a Sharpie mark here. Give me a Sharpie mark right there. We'll go cut this off on the bandsaw, and then we'll run back to the grinder, round it off just a hair. Chopped. Let's go grind. It took far longer than expected, but we're back. I don't even remember which end was which now. Which that one goes, I think maybe like that. I mean, I guess it could really go either way. Just depends on which side looks better. That metal is still a little warm. Oh! Yikes. That may need to be my wrench. That won't fit. It's a different size. 14. This one's the right size. Yeah, I need to do some more. Tweaking. I got two kind of like my bracket is leaned that way and my alternator is leaned this way, so need to twist it in like this, just a hair. This became much more evident once I tightened that bolt down just a little bit. So, how do I remember this? Because I'm really good at getting back at to do something. Looking at it up here and going, yeah, that's what I need to do. And then getting back to the vise and going, now which way do I need to turn that? Which way do I need to bend that? I don't remember. So, okay, I think I know how to do this. Let's go do a little bending. All right, while I was back there, I bent it, and then I stopped by my spacer washer bucket, and I found it's actually a rocker fulcrum for a rocker arm. Maybe it's about right. I don't know. We'll slip it in there and see if it's close to being the right size. I don't remember which end I was doing here now. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Stick that one right there. Let's get this dumb glove off. Although this piece is still pretty warm. Actually, that ain't bad right there. Once everything gets snugged down, let's snug this one down. Okay, safety squints. I was drilling those holes a minute ago. The very first hole I drilled, I didn't have my squints on tight enough, and I got dinged in the eye with a piece of metal. It came out, but it's still a little irritated from that. So don't do what I do. Put on your safety goggles, glasses, whatever you got. Face shield. I always liked face shields because you could see everything and they didn't fog up. I haven't had a face shield in a long time. Man, I think that is the cat's meow right there, as my dad would say. Tighten this one up. Can't over tighten these guys because they go into aluminum. And we all know aluminum threads are not super good. Dude, let me pop you off and let you take a look at this. We'll even take you off zoom. All right, we just made us a bracket. Kind of give our turbo a little bit of stability on the top because it is heavy and you know, you're going to be driving the car on the streets and stuff's going to be vibrating around. And so I'd rather have a little bit of security up here to, you know, maybe keep our header from cracking because we did roll that flange way over from what it used to be. It used to be fairly flat, so the weight of the turbo was just kind of sitting up there. But now we're cantilevering that dude over to the side quite a bit. So I think that's going to help give us some stability. As you can see, my belt is still not here. It was supposed to be here today, but did not show up. I guess it'll be here Monday. All right. Now, since we are in the mode of getting all the stuff under the hood kind of taken care of, I'm going to dig through my wideband box here. See if I can find my actual wideband. Here it is. And maybe the harness. May run the harness. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the wideband in the downpipe, and then I'm going to run the harness in through the hole in the firewall over there. We're running all our wiring through the old clutch cable hole. Probably should, you know, seal off that hole or do something with it, but I think it'll be okay for now. Look at that. It's even got anti-seize on it. So here's our wideband. Goes right there. Nice convenient location. Where we can always get to it and replace it or do whatever if we need to. Come on. There. Awesome. And like I said before, there's a lot of widebands. And you get on eBay, and there's a whole bunch that look like an AEM. But it may not. It's probably a knockoff copy of an AEM. I tend to stick with name brand stuff when I want to do for widebands. Widebands and injectors are my two main pet peeves because if either one goes wonky, well, you're gonna have big problems. And I have run. I'll back up. I did run a cheaper wideband in the yellow Nanner truck, and it worked. It worked okay. But that company's not in business anymore. So I I don't know why. Maybe it didn't work as good as I thought. Uh-oh. You know that black O-ring I had saved? There it is. Come here. The black O-ring I was saving. I found the package laying on the floor, and the O-ring was not in it. Let's adjust our angle here. Let's turn our light. It's kind of nuking my camera. That's a little better. Now this dude comes with, I don't know if you can see this, but you could nearly mount the wideband in the trunk and run the wiring all the way back. There's a lot of wire here. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Oh my gosh, can't reach that far. Come back around to this side. I probably didn't hold that where you could see it, but okay. Dude's all plugged in. We're just gonna run it right across the top of this little channel. We'll get some zip ties here in a minute. Zip it down. Keep it up there. And the business end, which I probably should get a wire. Let me find a wire. I'm gonna go find a wire. Just take a piece of wire, put a little hook on the end, and then if you don't put a hook, if it gets hung on something, then a lot of times whatever you're fishing through, you can just slide off. So I always put a hook and then I tape it up here, then the tape will slide back and go boop, and get hung right there, and it'll help hold everything together. So we're gonna put a little piece of tape on that, and then we're gonna fish that dude through the firewall. If I can find my tape. I just had it yesterday. And look, I found the blue cutters again. I'm not gonna tell you where I found them, because that would be embarrassing. Ooh, piece of tape. And I'll just put that dude there. Tape, tape, tape. And just slide that up. Tape and tape. Perfect. All right. Got it hooked on there. And we're going to just aim it right down into the car. I think I just hit the floor. Come on, Dork. There it is. Ow. I'm hung up on something. What am I hung on? Probably hung on the firewall. I am. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Okay, clear the firewall. Come on. Yeah. You can see what we're doing here. We're just feeding that dude right through. Feeding that dude right through that hole right there. I think it's long enough now on the inside, I can just pull it. I'm getting hung up on things out here. Come on. Okay. Super duper. I'm gonna jump right over here. Pull this back. I'm gonna put a little zip tie over here. Actually, that'd be a great spot. Cutters. Yeah. Wideband has a little hard plastic. I don't know what it is, but it's a great spot to put a zip tie. I'm just going to get this. A little zippy right there. Take that back. If y'all know anything about me, you know I like drag and drive events, like Drag Week and Rocky Mountain Race Week. Done both. I'll keep my opinion on which one I prefer to myself. Actually, no, I won't. I prefer Race Week. Drag Week was cool when it was the only game in town, but man, it's a grind. Race Week is a little more laid back because they usually have at least one drive day. And the thing I like the most about Race Week, well, I won't say the most, but one of the things I think is great is they race at night. So you get to the track, it's hot, and you make a few passes. Make a pass, you like call your class to the lane. You make a pass, and then hang out there for a little while, and then the sun goes down, and then wow, then it's nice. And you're racing in the evening, and you can hang out at the track as long as you want if you've made your pass that you like, and you can boogie on down the road or head to the hotel or go get some dinner. So it's a little more relaxed, and I think I may just leave that alone. I was going to zip tie that back over to here, but I don't think it needs it. I think it'll be fine just like it is. Drag Week was just go, go, go. And you always felt like you just needed to do your one and done at Drag Week. You get your pass in. If it's good, pack up, hit the road. Because you got to do it again the next day. And so, a lot of tracks we went to, you'd make one pass at and you're done. So you wouldn't even get to see the track, hang out at the track, experience being at the track. But, I guess that's really not the reason behind doing those things. But, it is kind of a vacation. So kind of feel like you should get a little enjoyment out of being at places. The other good thing about Race Week driving is you're on the road. You're on the road when businesses are open, for the most part. When you get up, start your drive in the morning. If you have problems on the road, stores are open. You can buy parts. You can go to a machine shop if you need it. There's no special favors needed to do stuff. All right. But where I was going with that is both Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0 and Drag Week are going on next week at the same time. Two different places, but at the same time. So I'm going to be in drag and drive overload watching Drag Week in the morning and Race Week in the evenings. So it's going to be fun. All right, wideband is plumbed in. Shoot. The wires just run it right across the firewall, kind of there, through the clutch hole. It's inside the car now. I'm not going to do the inside of the car stuff today. I'm going to start working on that this coming week. So everything under the hood is about 99% done. Yeah, I would say 99%. Put some power steering fluid in the pump today. So far, I don't see any leaks. I ran it with my hand kind of get some of the air out of it. Put the belt back on. Maybe slide under, double check some bolts, make sure everything's tight under there, and then we'll be done. We'll be done under the hood here. Still, I don't have an air filter for it. The one I ran in the 83 was too long. Okay, I was sitting here looking at my screen while I was videoing, and I looked over and my receiver for my microphone started blinking. So it's telling me, hey, your microphone just died. I wish it would beep at me. But anyways, 99% done. Looking pretty good here. We'll take a quick look inside. I'm not 100% sure where. There's a narrow band O2 right here. I'm thinking I might pop that front thing off there and take that narrow band out and put our wide band right there. I really want the wide band in your field of vision. I could put it, we've got 3 other gauges over there. Could put it over there, but it really needs to be up here where you can just kind of quickly glance at it and not have to look over and down at it. Besides, we're not going to be using this anyways. We're not using a narrow band. So that's probably where I'm going to mount this thing. But, you know, I've got enough wire here. There's probably 4 feet of wire that we're going to have to tuck up under the dash somewhere, because I guess they got to make them for all scenarios. But dadgum, that's a long wire. Well, I guess that'll do it for today's 30-minute mechanic. Got everything under the hood, 99% done, still waiting on the belt. Man, I'm super happy with how it's all just come together right here at the end. Everything's connected. I can't think of anything else that I'm leaving out. I'll sleep on it. I'll probably find something. Still need to climb under, double check a few things, make sure stuff's tight. And then we'll jump inside the car and start working on hooking up the wideband and putting the ECU in, the micro squirt from EFI Source, the plug and play deal. Plug that dude, and hopefully it'll play. Hook up the laptop, change some settings, and should be good to turn the key and, you know, dump fluids all over the floor, because that's usually what happens. All right, that'll do it for today. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time. Bye.